Right, we got the Golden Nugget. We're starting a new Golden Nugget today. Laura's going to kick off. We're talking about ways that we worship. So how do you get into a worship position whereby what's your happiest position for worshipping God?
Favourite place to worship? Favourite place to worship for me is when I'm in the car on my own, because I can just sing and no one can hear me. Love that, love that. But honestly, favourite place to worship is at DTI, because it's just the most amazing thing. And honestly, every time I go and there's 5,000 teenagers worshipping Jesus and you can feel the bass and the drums on your chest, it's just, I just weep every time. And I never get used to it. Never, ever get used to it. So, DTI.
And when you come in on a Sunday morning, how do you approach worship? How do you get into a place where you're worshipping God and it's just you and Him?
So I've made sure I've had a cup of coffee. That's the truth. Coffee first. Seek first the caffeine, and all the things will be added. So I find it much better. I love people. And honestly, if I stand at the back, I don't worship because it's too easy to talk to people. So I find if I make that decision to come to the front, then I can really focus and I'm not distracted. So I find that actually physically where I place myself when I worship makes a huge difference to how engaged I am in the worship. So, and I think as I've heard people say, honestly, I've heard people say in the past, they've kind of critiqued the worship and been a bit like, oh, I wasn't really feeling it today. And I'm like, we're created to worship. We're not like X Factor judges of the worship leader. We're created to worship, whether we feel like it or not. And I think putting yourself in the posture of worship, because we worship God because He's worth it. That's the beginning and the end. We worship God because He's worth it. And I try and put myself in that position.